Okay, so now I'm going to show you in our animation project how to code the fox. Now I want the fox just to kind of stay there. I want to animate him. So the first thing I always do, I bring out my event and my starting position. So that way it always starts the way I want it to. So on this one, I'm going to want him to turn in a circle. So I'm going to say turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I could sit there and count this 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Or there's a simple math thing that I could, how many times I rotate it, and then I could repeat that so many times to equal 360. So this number times the repeat 300 to equal 360 would give you that. So it is 24, so I'm going to go to my controls and I'm going to repeat that 24 times. So now when I do this, he turns in a circle. Now I want it to kind of look like he's moving, so he has some fun costumes over here. Okay, so I am going to just add in the next costume. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to say start, switch to costume, Fox C. Let's make sure that's the right one. Okay, and then I want him to start laying down, and then I'm going to put in here the next costume. I'm just going to put in a very short wait. So it's just going to look like he's changing costumes as he's doing a backflip. So let's see what he looks like. So it looks like he's kind of doing this backflip. And if you don't want to change costumes and just want to do the flip, you could just do a turn. So that is an easy animation. Now he only did that one time. So once again, I'm going to put all of this inside the forever loop so that he'll do it for a continuous animation. Okay, so now let's talk about the rabbit. Now the rabbit is going to do something a little bit different than this. So far, and he's really big, so I'm going to change the size, let's say to 50. Okay, so the rabbit is going to be doing something that the bat is doing. So if I like what the bat is doing, I could drag it over to the rabbit. So the rabbit is going to be doing the same type of thing. So now I'm going to go here, except now the rabbit is on top of him. So I want to stop for just a second. And I'm going to move the rabbit back to where I want it. And now I'm going to give it a new starting position. So I'm going to say, let's stop it for just a second. Okay, I'm going to give it a new starting position, and I'm going to tell it to go -203 to -7. So that way it has its own starting position, but I have the exact same code. But the way I'm going to change this code is instead of it going to this exact position and just starting over, I want it to go to a random position. So I'm going to say random position. And now it can go. So now I can say so now he's going to show up somewhere else and he's going to keep doing that. And sometimes he disappears off the stage because he's repeating this code, and then he'll show back up when he's finished this. So it's just kind of like you kind of never know where he's going to show up and when he's going to show up. It makes it a little bit more fun. If I wanted to do something a little bit different with the bat, so here's one way to code the bat to go. If you wanted it to go back and forth, I could take this same code. I could change this. Okay, so I'm just going to right click and duplicate this right now. So, and then I'm going to say, so right now this one gets us across, but if I wanted him to come back across, I could do the same code that I have in the middle there. I could say repeat 7 times, move 50 again, but this time instead of moving 50, so look, if I hit stop, I'm going to move it back here. This moves him right, but if I wanted him to go to the left, I could say a negative number. So I'm going to say move a negative 10 steps. And say next costume. So let's see how this changes the code. So this is just a separate way to code this bat. So now I'm going to go here. So my code's confused because it's running both. So I'm going to break this one for just a second. Goes over. Oh, so here I said -10, so let's change that to -50 to make sure your numbers are the same. So then he goes over, and then he comes back. So that is a different way to code how you want your bat to go. So these are just some animation tricks. I hope you have fun.